Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
102, it's 36 degrees in Milwaukee. Today, chance of flurries, mostly cloudy, otherwise breezy. High of 36, wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy and will dip down to 24. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Ty. Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, has died. He was 90 years old.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here and go!
Bob Uecker has been behind the mic calling Milwaukee Brewers games since 1971.
39 straight for Molitor.
The Milwaukee native would then find his legs as an entertainer, making 100 Tonight Show appearances.
Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker.
Pitching Miller products.
I must be in the front row.
Making movies.
Just a bit outside.
All while calling the games for his beloved crew.
Holy cow! Do you believe it?
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Uecker's family confirms he'd been battling small cell lung cancer since early 2023. So many of you sending in your memories and saying, Bob, you'll be missed. Definitely so. Last-minute disputes delay a vote by Israel's cabinet until tomorrow on the ceasefire agreement with Hamas. News Nation's Nicole Burley.
Israel and Hamas came to an agreement yesterday, with fighting now at 15 months and counting, tens of thousands of people dead and more than 1 million displaced. The three-phase deal is set to begin on Sunday, but the Israeli government says Hamas now wants to make changes.
Hamas have made changes even after the agreement was agreed. Now, the mediators know this, they've confirmed this as well, and they're trying to exact further compromises from Israel.
That second voice there was Israeli government spokesperson David Mentzer. During the first phase, hostages being held by Hamas would be released in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. More than 73,000 vehicles make their way between the Hone Bridge and Marquette Interchange via 794. But could it go away?
A public survey just completed by the DOT whittled down the options for the 794 interchange to 3. Replace, improve, or remove altogether. Project manager Dave Pittman.
It's kind of an even split in the amount of people that like each group. And there's a lot of people that understand the advantages and disadvantages to each one.
A final decision is expected next year, and when construction could begin?
I would say right now we're currently looking at that timeline. 2027 might be a little aggressive.
Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
A U.S. ban on the social media platform TikTok is set to go into effect on Sunday. Senator Chuck Schumer says the goal is not to disrupt the lives of its users, but it can't stay the way it is.
We aren't against TikTok. We want TikTok to keep going. But we are against a Chinese company that is in cahoots with the Chinese Communist Party owning TikTok. Unfortunately, TikTok as it exists today has too many security risks that cannot be ignored.
TikTok's owner, the Chinese company ByteDance, has been ordered to sell TikTok or it'll be shut down here in the U.S. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It was a mixed bag on Wall Street before, but now things have changed and everything is in the red. The Dow is down 105 points to 43,116. S&P 500 is down 11 points to 5,938. And the NASDAQ is down 121 points to 19,389. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:05.
This report sponsored by the Fireside Theater, the ultimate Elvis tribute musical.
Which one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now, go cat go.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson, and you've never seen anything like it.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell.
Back in the building features a rotating cast of the finest award-winning Elvis tribute artists and Anne Margaret, all backed by an incredible live band and ensemble. Experience the eras of Elvis in this legendary feel-good show. From the 50s to the movies, the 60s comeback to the rockin' 70s. It's all here.
Oh, see right up.
Every ticket to the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis back in the building, live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Only at the Fireside Theater.
I know, January's here. WTMJ's John Burke here. If you have the January blues, start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. Enjoy any steak, the seafood, the pan-fried walleye, a fresh salad, steak and lobster, the ribs, the pasta, any dinner on the menu. Your second dinner is free. Desserts and those huge ice cream drinks. Also, buy one, get one free. Sip on an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. Check out the bourbon. 100 wines on the new wine list. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest is a one-of-a-kind gem. The holiday decorations are still up with thousands of lights. The Christmas characters. It's a must-see, and those 7 wood-burning fireplaces will keep you warm on a cold January night. Weekends might be too busy for some, so enjoy a quiet, romantic dinner tonight at the Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A fast start for the Milwaukee Bucks leads to 30 points for Dame and 26 for Giannis, and a 122-93 win over the Magic. Milwaukee is now 22-17, and that's good for 4th in the East. Next up in the homestand, the Bucks take on the Raptors tomorrow night. And Wisconsin women's basketball is back in action tonight, hosting Ohio State. Badger Sports Updates sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have one crash. It's still out there. It's down in the Kenosha area. Crash on the exit to Wisconsin 50 from 4194 south. Other than that, just a couple disabled vehicles on the system. And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Chance for flurries, mostly cloudy and breezy. High of 36. Speaking of breezy, those wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour today. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll dip down to 24. Friday, tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy. Slight mix coming for the nighttime hours. High of 42 tomorrow. That sounds nice, but then get ready because we start to take the dip again starting Saturday. Saturday, mostly cloudy, turning partly cloudy. High of 26. Sunday, partly cloudy and cold, only a high of 8 on Sunday, and the wind's going to make it feel worse. On Monday, mostly cloudy and very cold, a high of 5, and once again, the wind chill is going to be below 0. So yes, prepare yourselves for that. It is currently 38 degrees in Kenosha, 34 in Waukesha, and 36 here in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 109.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Good afternoon, and it's hard to say that because it is a sad day. I was on air with Steve this morning as the news broke. And it's one of those moments that I think you kind of think you're like, oh, that's that. I'll remember that forever as far as where I was when it was announced that Mr. Baseball passed away this morning at 90 years old. Brian, I know you're not a Brewers fan necessarily, but I know this kind of hits you too.
Well, listen, my National League team, I've said this before, is the Brewers because I hate the Cubs with the passion of 1,000 suns. So, yes. But I've been a Bob Uecker fan since watching him I remember when the Miller Lite commercials first came out. And that was my first exposure to Bob Uecker. And then, of course, seeing him on The Tonight Show. He was on there over 40 times, watching him in Major League. And is one of, there's a few regrets that you have in your life. Hopefully only a few. And last year when we were doing opening day, I so wanted to meet Bob Uecker. Yeah. And the schedules didn't work out and I just wasn't able to do it. But he's a guy that transcends your allegiance to a team. He's a guy who was as bigger than baseball because, yeah, he started here in Milwaukee broadcasting and people here loved him. But then he became this national treasure and just a guy who I think if you liked baseball, you loved him. If you just liked comedy, you loved him. And if you listened to him, you go, this is a guy it's the old political thing. I would have loved to sat down with Bob Uecker and had a couple Miller Lights and heard, I can't imagine his stories.
Well, we were trying to find, and we have a ton of content we're going to play today. I've been so wildly impressed as far as everyone from ESPN and on WTMJ is just all hands on deck as far as wanting to honor him today. And so we have a lot of clips from game calls and everything. And you and I were trying to find some of the funnier stuff that he's done over the years. And, Norm Macdonald, who also very funny, also, rest in peace. Yep. I found a clip of him on The Late Show with David Letterman. And I was like, well, this might have too many curse words for us to play on the air and get it bleeped out in time for the show because it sounds like everyone who knew him, just his ability to tell stories and the way about him with that Wisconsin Milwaukee accent is something that I think no one will be able to forget.
Yeah, it's a big loss not only for baseball and Brewers fans. It's a big loss for everybody here at WTMJ. We're going to be talking to Dom Cotroneo after the 2 o'clock news, who's worked with Bob for the last number of years. Gene Miller, a name, a man, a voice that you all recognize from his long time here at WTMJ, but also just a long time in Milwaukee radio, is going to join us. He had recorded an obituary for Bob Uecker, and he's going to share some stories of his interactions with Bob. So it's a lot. It's hard to take an entire career and try to give it the right attention. But we're trying. Everybody's been doing a great job all day, and you'll hear different people on different shows as we continue on. So it was one of those. Now you lived in Milwaukee, and all your travels, you never had a chance to run into Bob Uecker.
I never had a chance to run into Bob Uecker. I think my opportunity would have been similar to yours last year when we got to do opening day. But yeah, never got to meet the man. But as you said, as everyone's been all hands on deck here, if you would like to see, we've on our WTMJ.com, we've collected a ton of different content from over the years. If you text Bob, B-O-B, to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620, we will send you a link so that you can enjoy some of the best hits from over the years. But, Bob Uecker is credited with helping many of his partners become the broadcast professionals they are today. But don't take our word for it.
Hello again, everyone. Bob Uecker along with Jeff Levering and Ken Sommerfeld, set to bring you Game 1 action.
There's something about listening to Bob that just makes you feel good. He bleeds Brewers baseball.
Once again, here's Joe Block.
Well, thanks, Uke.
I had the unique experience of being able to learn under both an established Major League player and a Hall of Fame broadcaster.
This is Bob Uecker along with Corey Probus.
Sharing a booth with him is truly one of the better jobs, not just in sports, but I think that one could possibly have.
Once again, here's Jim Powell.
Undoubtedly, the greatest honor of my career is that I can say I was Bob Uecker's longest tenured partner. 13 years in the Brewers radio booth alongside the great Bob Uecker.
This is Len Casper. The brilliance of Bob Uecker can never really be overstated.
This is Pat Hughes.
A great man is someone who never reminds you of anyone else, and that certainly applies to Uecker.
Long run! He's got it with a diving catch, and Nieves has made history.
He's a great baseball broadcaster mechanically. He's got the great home run call, the best of any of the signature home run calls.
Get up, get up, get out of here, gone. I mean, just perfect, and it came from such an organic place. It's a great home run call.
I love hearing his story when he took over full-time, calling the games in '78, and how that season began with an opening day grand slam from Sixto Loscano. I think Bob's got a great call of that.
Drive to deep right center, way back goes Evans. It's got a chance to go. Goal! Hey, a grand slam home run for us.
Robin Yount's 3,000th hit, that's a great call.
3,000 for Robin.
I was there for Trevor Hoffman's 600th save.
Swing a bouncer.
Ground ball to short. Council throws, and there it is, 600 saves. Big moments. I wouldn't just look at the field. I would just kind of move my chair back and turn to my right and just watch Bob call a brilliant baseball moment.
And then to be able to blend in the stories and the humor in between pitches.
You don't mess around with Tony Danza either. I've known Tony a long time. Former boxer, not much of a puncher, pretty good dancer. Here's a ball down low, and it's 2-1.
Who else can weave in a story about Andre the Giant choking him, or how Johnny Carson didn't believe he was a baseball player, or how his TV son burned a steak in the oven, and then somehow relate it to Domingo Santana?
Gone for Santana.
Talking about how his old catcher's equipment was so bad and how he used to get beat up all the time.
When another catcher comes up to you and takes a full swing at you, then you know he's not your pal.
Being at the park and broadcasting Brewers games is simply one of the most enjoyable aspects of his life.
It's being retrieved by Prince Fielder. It's something from the upper reaches of Miller Park. Nothing really major. It's maybe a 400 or 500 pound piece.
His favorite hobby, unfortunately, was trying to find a way to make me laugh uncontrollably, preferably when I'm drinking a soda.
These are the kinds of days I used to lay out and cover my body with honey and let the ants run all over me. Outside a ball, it was stimulating.
This is Vin Scully. Probably the most difficult time I have ever spent on television was one day we were in Milwaukee. I was asking Bob if he would come on our show, and I'm interviewing him, and he is becoming Bob Uecker, the entertainer, with the straight face. For that 10-minute period, I agonized trying not to let the show fall apart with me hysterical. It was really a test.
Kent, are you there? Joe, go up and check. He could have passed out.
He's extemporaneously funnier than anyone at the ballpark and one of the most pronounced comedic wits of our time.
As you can't keep asking guys to go out there and throw shutouts and, 1 or 2 run games all the time. Hello? Yes, you're on. Swing and a miss.
You want to make the game fun, and nobody makes a baseball game more fun than Bob Uecker. He broadcasts with a smile on his face.
Spins, throws, and they got him! What a play by Orlando Arcia!
He's so good, he's so funny, and he's such a genuine person, and I would not be here without him. There's no doubt about that.
Holy cow! Do you believe it?
Every time I broadcast a baseball game, Bob Uecker is a part of it. He did a lot for me. I can't tell you how much respect I have for Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker is so special to Brewers baseball because he really is Brewers baseball. There's only been one season in the entire history of the Brewers that he hasn't been calling games for them.
God bless him.
Oh, baby.
One season that he didn't call games. Wow. That is, wow. That is something.
It's amazing. It's the longevity. And I know when we talked to Gene, he had said that this Bob Uecker's death ended an era of these kind of announcers who are so identified with the team. So we've got a lot more to come, paying tribute to Bob Uecker all day.
And actually, you know what I want to do? We want to spend some time. I know we don't do this as much anymore, but I would love to open up the lines. If you have a story that you love, a Bob Uecker story that you love, 855-616-1620. Text it in, call it in. What was it about Uecker that made him so iconic? So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll take your calls after this.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for your weekend. It's going to be fun. It's going to be informative. It's going to be good if you're a couple, great if you're a family. How about this? Check out Experience Wisconsin. It is Saturdays at 1 o'clock on WTMJ. On this week's show, I am jazzed. Elkhart Lake and the Simon & Garfunkel story, a great location and a great event. We cover it all. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ. Join us, some great ideas and some great information. It is Experience Wisconsin.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Hey, if you're able, please help people affected by the California wildfires in 2025. Donate to redcross.org/ESPN. That's redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob.
The 0-1 pitch. Swings, and there it is! A base hit into right center. He's done it. 3,000 for Robin.
Yount's 3,000th hit. I don't think I've done anything 3,000 times. Have you, Brian?
No. Well, probably nothing that I want to talk about
nothing
here.
Nothing that's worth Bob Uecker giving it an announcement for. Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
I am Brian Noonan. We are paying tribute all day to Bob Uecker here on WTMJ and across the baseball world. People are paying tribute as well. We just heard that great speech and comments from all the baseball announcers because he was definitely one of a kind.
Absolutely. And we were taking some calls. We're trying to fit in some time today to hear from you on some of your favorite Bob Uecker stories. And actually, friend of the show called in, Jay Sorgi. You said that you have a great story about Bob.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, how are you two doing on a hard day? It's hard here for us, too, but it's still, in many ways, still a good one. That story that you're referring to, March of 2004, I actually was simply working in the producer's booth at WTMJ when all of a sudden I was called into duty to be Bob's emergency pregame show host for a spring training game. And he was driving into the stadium, and he was, let's just say, late for the broadcast. So I had to fill in for a couple segments of him, and we're like potting up his phone as he went from Hohokam Stadium in Hohokam, Arizona, or wherever it was, And then I had to quickly fill in for him. I'm like, we're here because of technical difficulties that Bob is having coming into the stadium. But it's like you get the realization you're filling in for a legend, even if it's just like
That's going to be intimidating.
It was, but it was so cool to be able to have that story that so many people have of something special connected to Euchre, a guy who grew up literally a mile from American Family Field.
I know.
A mile.
I know.
And his life was so encompassed by that space. I mean, such a special, special life that he led, and we're all better for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much for the call, Jay. That's
Jay.
a great story.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
Getting texts in. Losing Bob announcing for the Brewers was like losing Jim Irwin, and Max McGee calling plays for the Packers on the radio. They will all be missed. So it's I would imagine a lot of the people listening now who are Brewers fans and grew up listening to the Brewers here on WTMJ, they don't know any other announcers.
I mean,
Bob.
Absolutely. And so I know that we want to take Candy, because Candy, you have a story about your mom because she thought she saw Bob?
My mom was always a big Brewer fan.
Okay.
And she loved Bob. She loved Bob Euchre. And 15 years ago, she was in the hospital, and she was literally dying then, and she was hallucinating. And she kept seeing Bob in the hospital room, and she would tell us, "Move over because you're standing in front of Bob Euchre." And she was married to my dad for 50 years. And she talked about Bob Euchre more than my dad. And this morning, my daughter texted me from Minnesota and said, "Grandma's going to be so happy to see Bob right now." And it just brought tears to my eyes.
Oh,
that is a great story. That's really funny. Move, you're in front of Bob.
I mean, she talked about him all the time. She just loved him. Yeah. She saw him in the hospital room all the time.
Did it make your dad jealous at all? It sounds like your mom had a little thing for Bob.
No, he wasn't jealous. He just kind of laughed it off. But she really did have we even have a picture of her with Bob Euchre. But I thought, boy, she's going to be happy today to be joined by Bob Euchre.
I bet. All right. Well, thank you so much for the call, Katie. That's a great story.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, let's take one more break. And I know that we want to keep getting these stories because these are one of a kind as far as people's attachment and experience of, what one of the biggest Milwaukee icons I think there's ever been. So let's take a break and we'll have more after this on Spanning the State.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopko Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopko Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time AccuNet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life. But I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Gantner, there he goes. The pitch, a swing and a fly ball, right field and deep. Get up, and get out of here. Gone for Swaim, and they've done it again.
goodness. Welcome back to Spanning the State on WTMJ, where we are honoring the one, the only Bob Uecker all day today. I am Kristen Bry. And he is Brian Noonan.
I'm sorry, I'm Brian Noonan, trying to working on something for the show. I apologize.
Know. And so before
it's one of these days.
I know, but we want to take
one of these days where things
really
go.
Quickly,
We got to
Brian.
call.
Yes, let's take Ray, because you have Ray. Before we go to break at the bottom of the hour, we wanted to get your personal experience with Bob Uecker.
Hi, my name is Larry Irvin, and I remember when I used to work at the ballpark from 2011 to 2019, and he used to always joke around in the elevator and like tell stories, and man, he was so funny.
How dirty was his sense of humor when he was off air? Did you ever get any things that really made you blush?
Yeah, he used to, like, the stuff he used to say about the players and the games. I mean, he was really serious about the Brewers, though.
Yeah. Well,
I wish they would have won a run for him. Though,
I agree. I think we all feel that today. Thanks so much for the call, Ray. All right, ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A spokesperson for Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says last-minute disputes in the Gaza ceasefire deal with Hamas have been worked out. An Israeli official tells ABC News the Prime Minister is now expected to present the framework to his government Friday for a vote. Secretary of State Antony Blinken at a briefing says the U.S. is confident that deal will be implemented.
It's not exactly surprising that in a process and a negotiation that has been this challenging and this fraught, you may get a loose end. We're tying up that loose end as we speak.
The first phase would include the release of 33 hostages. The U.S. imposed ban on TikTok's app is set to go into effect Sunday. The Biden administration says it does not plan to take action to force TikTok to immediately go dark, saying it's up to the Trump administration to enforce that ban. And winds in Southern California easing today. Fire crews say fires have not spread in the past day. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. I'm Jessica Ty. Fans are rushing over to American Family Field and leaving remembrances for the legendary Bob Uecker. Mr. Baseball passed away at his home this morning at the age of 90. Fans are dropping off flowers, cards, and, oh yes, cans of Miller Lite at the ballpark. Uecker spent 54 seasons broadcasting for the Brewers, calling games right here on 620 WTMJ. His family confirms he'd been battling small cell lung cancer since early 2023. The Milwaukee Brewers are calling this one of the most difficult days in Brewers history as the club mourns Ueck's passing. A child has died from the flu. The Department of Health Services confirms the first pediatric death in Wisconsin associated with influenza. DHS recommends everyone over the age of 6 months get vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 to avoid serious illness. Across the country, 16 kids have died from the flu so far this season. And it's a not guilty plea from the man accused of driving the wrong way on the highway into the path of the vice president's motorcade last year. Wayne Wacker faces one felony charge of second-degree recklessly endangering safety. He also faces one charge of operating while intoxicated, possession of open intoxicants in a vehicle, and driving the wrong way on a divided highway. The 55-year-old works as a special education teacher for MPS. Wacker could face up to 10 years in prison if convicted on the felony charge. Time for news about your money. Let's check out the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update and see where we are. Yep, everything is down now. Started off with a mixed bag, but not the case right now. The Dow is down 63 points to 43,158. S&P 500 is down 5 points to 5,944. And the NASDAQ is down 99 points, almost 100, to 19,410. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's get an update on the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We're still dealing with the crash in Kenosha. It's on the exit to Wisconsin 50 from 4194 south. Everything else, for the most part, we do have an incident that's still on the ramp from County G to 4194 north. But everything else in the Milwaukee area so far looks like a disabled vehicle, and things are moving along smoothly. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Chance of flurries, mostly cloudy and breezy. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. We have a high of 36 today. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll dip down to 24. Friday, tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, and a slight mix at night, a high of 42. Saturday, that's when the temps start to drop again. Turning partly cloudy that day, high of 26. Sunday, partly cloudy and cold, a high of only 8 degrees, and the wind is going to make it feel worse. Then on Monday, very cold. Our high is only 5. I'm Jessica Ty. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 4-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
If affordable home decor is what you've been looking for, look no further, because we're happy to show you just how easily glass can turn up the wow value of your home. Take those old kitchen cabinet doors. You pull the cabinet doors off their hinges, mill out the center, and we'll replace it with glass. It could have a design, or we could use plain glass for a simple metro look. We can design any look you're going for, from traditional to prairie, beveled glass, even custom designs. And it doesn't stop there. Entry glass, transoms, bath mirrors, rec room mirrors? How about a rec room mirror with your personalized sports design sandblasted right on? That could be a pretty cool look. All it takes is a little outside-of-the-box thinking, and we'll help you get there. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
He's ready and delivers. Morgan, a smash up the middle. Base hit to center. Here comes Gomez. Around third. A throw, and the Brewers win.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. That was Bob Uecker calling the Brewers Diamondback Game 5, 2011 final call. We are honoring the legend all day today. I am Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan, and that was Bob Uecker in the Brewers booth, but a lot of people remember Bob Uecker from the Cleveland Indians booth in the Major League movies. Now, we'll talk to Dom Cotroneo, who spent a lot of time with him in the Brewers booth, but we are very excited to welcome a man that I met a long, long time ago when I was first doing stand-up. He is not only a stand-up comic, he's a singer, guitarist, impressionist. He's got a wildly popular Hero of Rock series. And the reason we're talking to him today, he played Monty, Bob Uecker's producer, or the character's producer, in Major League. Skip Kraparis joins us now. Skip, thanks for taking time today. I really do appreciate it.
Hi, Brian. Of course. Nice to talk to you. It's been a long time since you started at Zany's.
It has been a long time.
I don't think I even had ear hair back then, but you know, I'm making up for it now. So
there you go. Well,
that going. Yeah.
At least you've got ear hair. I have no hair anymore, so you know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. So I remember when you got cast in Major League, it was a huge deal in the Chicago comedy community because it's like, oh my God, a local guy, one of our own, is now in this major motion picture.
Oh, and that's nice. That's
spent.
Nice.
It was a big deal.
It sure was to me. I didn't think it was a big deal to anybody else, but my audition was a Jane Alderman casting. I think she's retired. She might even not be alive anymore. But they filmed the first one in Milwaukee, as you know, and then they came to Chicago to flesh out the cast. And most of my audition was for a baseball player at bat from an opposing team. I think I was being heckled by the catcher, maybe. I could be wrong about that. And they wanted me, I had to bring a glove and ball or something to show that I could actually play, which I could. And then they said, okay, let's read for Color Man. And I just had one line. And they laughed, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, I blew another one. And 2 weeks later, I get the call that I'm Color Man. And that line that I said, I could not say over the radio right now because it was cleaned up for the movie. I'll clean it up even more. You can't say damn on the air. But Bob was not comfortable with the original wording. He was doing commercials for beer companies and so on. I thought maybe it wouldn't be good for his image. So we cleaned it up a little. It still worked.
So what was it like once you guys were actually filming?
It was so much. The first one in Milwaukee was so much fun. It was June, perfect weather. Nobody knew. I mean, the script looked funny, but nobody knew if this was going to be a success or, you just kind of, well, let's see what happens. And it's fun. And Bob was just great to me. And we had a bunch of downtime, and we went to another booth and just hung out, and he related baseball anecdotes one-on-one to me, like, holy crap, I'm in heaven. I'm making my first movie, and I got Bob Uecker eye to eye telling me his great baseball anecdotes. So it's pretty great.
Well, in movies, there is a lot of downtime. We've heard legend that off the mic, you could be a little off color, to say the least. When you were sitting in there with these stories, was he very unfiltered? What kind of things would he tell you?
I can't even remember a single thing because it's 35 years ago. Yeah. So I don't remember anything specifically, but let's just say he didn't hold back on anything. Yeah, which I appreciated, and he was very nice to me. And he was very professional. They would change like a whole paragraph of dialogue right before the shoot. And they had to, okay, here's what you're going to do now. And he'd sit there and read it and kind of store it in his brain. And then he would do it, and he would do it perfectly. He was, amazingly adept at the whole thing. And, of course, he also improvised a number of lines that wound up in the movie.
That was my question. I wanted to know how much you guys improv'd as far as just making stuff up.
I didn't. I was his foil for, I don't know if you know that term. It's a theatrical term. Or straight man. I was a straight man just setting him up and reacting. So he had the vast majority of the dialogue, and occasionally he would just come up with something. The one thing that comes to mind now, he said something. It was like after my character just had nothing to say about some important event, and he said something. Well, Monty, I see that broadcast school is paid off, and I think he came up with that on the spot. And I had not laughed during it because it was so funny, and just try to keep a straight face during it because he was so great.
So no horror stories about an actor's ego with Bob Uecker. It sounds like he came in, did his job, had a good time, and went home.
Yeah, there was one moment he got a little blustery about something towards the end of the shoot. I can't remember what it was. It did not involve me, so let's just stay out of this. But it was really nothing, just a very short thing that he was not comfortable with. Who knows what that was. And the first one was just so enjoyable in Milwaukee. The second one, not so much. We were in Baltimore in November.
Ugh.
So we're dressed
we're
dressed like summer. It's 40 degrees out, and we're just freezing. In Major League 2, there's a spot where he's drinking and he just passes out in the middle of the game. And he says, "Take it, Monty," and I have to kind of take over the play-by-play for a little bit. I looked over at him. He's just wearing a tank top, and I looked, and his muscles on his side were spasming from the
Oh, my
cold.
gosh. That's crazy.
And we're supposed to be in summer. You know, it's wild. And also the director got sick. He was really ornery through the whole second movie, and halfway through he had to go to a remote studio and talk to us by walkie-talkie. He was so
because
sick.
he was too chilly. Well, Skip, I appreciate you jumping on with us today. I know it was real last minute, but thank you so much. If you want to learn more about Skip, it's skipgraparis.com. And I'm glad you had a great experience on the first movie. The second one, hey, you got a paycheck, so that's always good.
That's right. That's right. Well, thanks. I'm going to get back to the Olsen twins here. We're just kind of fooling around a little bit, and so thanks. And,
cool. Well, have a good time, Skip. We appreciate it.
Well,
take care. Bye-bye. All right, let's do this. Then we've got more to come on Spanning the State.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and if you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out Dr. James Michaels at Economowoc Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. He's prioritized patients' needs, no matter how sensitive, since he began practicing in 1985. If you're due for a dental visit, Economowoc Dental has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to an exam, you'll receive a gentle professional cleaning that will not only leave your mouth feeling smooth, but rejuvenated. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economowoc Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my new dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economowoc Dental Care.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Hit in the air to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Garrett Mitchell. He just hit a walk-off out of here. And the Brewers have swept the New York Mets.
That was Bob Uecker calling the Garrett Mitchell walk-off April 5th, 2023. This is Spanning the State, and I am Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan, and we are paying tribute to Bob Uecker throughout the show, but we are also talking about other important things, right, Chris?
We absolutely are. But actually, so someone mentioned Bob Uecker was always available and supported the MAC Fund. But also I found out that he was also a good friend of the Medical College of Wisconsin. And so our guest right now is Dr. Cassie Ferguson, who's the co-director of the Health Equity Scholars Program at the Medical College of Wisconsin, which we're going to talk about. But I did not know that he was also had a relationship with you guys as far as ongoing campaigns.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Yes, Mr. Uecker supported the Medical College of Wisconsin through an endowed chair at the Cancer Center.
Oh, well, there you go. I did not know that. He's had his hands and everything. Well, I do want to talk about what we invited you to come in and talk about, which was the Health Equity Scholars Program. So I read about this because one of the things that is a common theme on this show that we talk about is there's shortages in a lot of different industries in Wisconsin right now, and healthcare is certainly one of them, and specifically in Milwaukee. And so the Health Equity Scholars Program at the Medical College of Wisconsin is aiming to recruit doctors and give them scholarships and have them stay in the Milwaukee area. So I was excited to have you here to talk a little bit more about the program. And so what's beyond kind of what I said, can you speak to what the problem is that the program's trying to solve?
Absolutely. So in Milwaukee, there are many what we call health professional shortage areas, which means in these areas, in these particular zip codes, there is less than one primary care physician for every 3,500 residents, which is far too few to provide the kind of care that people need in Milwaukee. And when we looked at this problem, we saw that there were not enough physicians who were graduating from the Medical College of Wisconsin in Milwaukee who stayed in Milwaukee. And specifically, there weren't enough physicians who were graduating who had special expertise in how to care for Milwaukee's underserved residents.
And so what does that look like as far as what is this different kind of training that you need to have to serve that population?
Sure. Well, we use what's called place-based education, which means that the students are learning and living in the same place. So Thrive On King is a building that that Medical College of Wisconsin has invested heavily in, along with Greater Milwaukee Foundation and Royal Capital. And this is where our program is based. It's right on King, near the Halyard Park area. And all of the programming that our Health Equity Scholar students go through or experience as a part of their program is housed in that building. So they learn not only about health equity and about everything else that you learn about in medical school, but they learn that in the area that they will eventually practice in. So, for example, they know the best places to go to grocery shop where there's fresh food. They understand where there are things like yoga studios that they can point their patients to. And they not only know about them, but they've been there and they use them themselves.
Is one of the conditions of the scholarship that these students have to stay in Milwaukee or the surrounding area for a certain amount of time, like the Army, where you got to put in 4 years or something?
So I love that question. Actually, there's been a program for about 60 years that the federal government has sponsored in which they pay people or they help with loan repayment for people who promise to practice in underserved areas like Milwaukee for a period of time. And interestingly, back in the summer, they published a 60-year-long study that showed that program wasn't working, that people, that the program hadn't changed outcomes in the area and it hadn't changed the number of physicians who were working in that area. So we actually are approaching it a bit differently. The research actually shows that students who graduate from medical school are more likely to practice in an underserved area if they are from that underserved area. So one of the conditions or one of the qualifications that we're looking for in students for this program is that they grew up in Milwaukee. And 4 of the 5 students who are in our inaugural class grew up in Milwaukee.
Wow.
2 of them graduated from Rufus King and actually had been best friends since middle school. So it's a homegrown program.
That is really cool. And we're running up against the clock, but so it's 5 students right now. Mm-hmm. What is the goal as far as how big the program will hopefully get to?
So we'd love for it to continue forever. The dean's office at the Medical College of Wisconsin has committed to a total of 15 full tuition scholarships, which is over $2 million in commitment. So we've been so excited to have that support. So we are currently recruiting our second class of 5 right now.
All right. Well, that is, like I said, I heard about this and I think it was a great program. The program is called the Health Equity Scholars Program at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. Cassie Ferguson, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We'll have more after this on Spanning the State.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Buy one pizza today, get a second pizza free at the Amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford and in Oshkosh. Don't cook, don't even think about it. You don't need to clean up either. Call, order, and pick up shortly, or just walk in for your free Thursday pizza, mineschaftrestaurant.com.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal, to do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had. That could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
At 2:01, it's 36 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 24. Tomorrow, breezy, mild, a high of 42. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, saying goodbye to Mr. Baseball. Bob Uecker passing away early this morning at his home at the age of 90. In a statement, the Brewers say Uecker was the light of the Brewers, the soundtrack of our summers, the laughter in our hearts, and his passing is a profound loss.
Having been born and raised here, played here with the Braves, and then to be a part of the Brewers broadcast team for all of these years, and to be associated with all of you who come to the park each and every night and have been doing it since the team arrived. Thank you very much, and thank you for tuning in to our broadcast each and every day.
Uecker's family confirms he had been battling small cell lung cancer since early 2023. Brewers broadcasters Bill Schrader and Jeff Levering will join us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News to reflect on Uecker's legacy. More than 73,000 vehicles make their way between the Hone and Marquette interchange via 794. But could it go away?
A public survey just completed by the DOT whittled down the options for the 794 interchange to 3. Replace, improve, or remove altogether. Project manager Dave Pittman.
It's kind of an even split in the amount of people that like each group. And there's a lot of people that understand the advantages and disadvantages to each one.
A final decision is expected next year. And when construction could begin?
I would say right now we're currently looking at that timeline. 2027 might be a little aggressive.
Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
And a proposed ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has yet to be approved as both sides are accusing the other of continued aggression. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says despite the delay, the deal will happen.
We've worked to broker a deal that would bring hostages home, that would stop the fighting, that would surge humanitarian aid to people who so desperately need it, that would create the space to conclude a permanent ceasefire. We now have that, and we expect implementation of the agreement to begin on Sunday.
And right now, as we sit here, the fighting actually continues amongst both sides. It is 2:03 at WTMJ. Markets on the rise. Sports, traffic, and weather up next on WTMJ. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports traffic and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 2:04.
This report sponsored by the Fireside Theater, the ultimate Elvis tribute musical.
Push one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now. Go, cat, go.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson, and you've never seen anything like it.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell.
Back in the Building features a rotating cast of the finest award-winning Elvis tribute artists and Anne Margaret, all backed by an incredible live band and ensemble. Experience the eras of Elvis in this legendary feel-good show. From the 50s to the movies, the 60s comeback to the rockin' 70s. It's all here. Every ticket to the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis back in the building, live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Only at the Fireside Theater.
Great Midwest Bank has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed business technology company. The bank's IT systems administrator, Michael Quizon, comments on the value of local.
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, local business technology solutions, local support, local accountability. Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales for the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
If their issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, President of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. A fast start for the Bucks leads to 30 points for Damian Lillard and 26 for Giannis and a win over Orlando. Next up on the homestand, the Raptors Friday night at Fiserv Forum. Wisconsin women's basketball back in action tonight, hosting Ohio State. Badgers Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited Siding and a whole lot more. Taking a look at those roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Kind of day we like. It's pretty slow, pretty uneventful, no major delays or slowdowns. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 24. Tomorrow, breezy, mild, a high of 42. On Saturday, mostly cloudy, a high of 26, and the temperatures drop. On Sunday, cold, a high of 8. On Monday, very cold, a high of 5 degrees. Right now in Madison, cloudy and 36 degrees. In Green Bay, cloudy and 36. In Milwaukee, hey, how about this? Cloudy and 36 degrees. I'm John Merck here, Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 2:07.
Yelich sends one to right center and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here and gone for Yelich. He has tied the game. The pitch. Ryan Braun sends it to left center and deep. Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Ryan Braun. He just hit a walk-off out of here. Wow! You can't do it any better than that.
That was Bob Uecker in 2018 with the Braun Yelich back-to-back, and this is Spanning the State.
I'm Brian Noonan. She's Kristen Bry, and it's a horrible day for baseball fans, Brewers fans, obviously Bob Uecker's family, all of us here at WTMJ, and really for all the people that got to work with you through all the seasons with the Brewers. One of those guys who has been working closely with them, with Bob for the last few years is Dominic Cotroneo. Dom is, of course, the host of Brewers Extra Innings, Brewers Weekly. You hear him all the time covering Brewers stuff today. Dom, thanks for coming in. I'm sorry for your loss. It's got to be a horrible day for you.
I'm not alone in today's moment of grief. And to say that Bob Uecker was a teammate was a dream come true. I mean, that's a sentence that 12-year-old me is like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, tough day. Really, really kind of healthy to talk it out today. I was just on ESPN Milwaukee for a couple of hours talking it out with Gabe Neitzel, and I've got my show tonight at 8 o'clock too, and letting the tributes come in, and got some great guests lined up too. But Yeah, I mean, it's breaking news and it's shocking news, but he's not immortal. We all thought he was Superman.
And And that's what I feel like. And I know we have the clip that maybe we play later in the show, but when we lost this year, it seemed from the outside looking in that it was extra emotional because I think what we know now is that he has had lung cancer since 2023, and what you guys all kind of knew was this was probably the last game he was going to get to see for the Brewers play.
Yeah, I've said it a few times now, and I was in the room when he was signing off, and I just, to be a fly on the wall for that, his kids there, and Robin was there, Jeff, Lane, Josh, Kent, we're all sitting there just listening to Bob one last time, and the air was heavy. It was really heavy, and the back of your mind saying, no, this can't be it. It can't end like this. This is not going to be the way that it ends. And you could feel it from Bob. He kept going, and he just kept trying to find something to latch onto, and he just didn't want to say goodbye. We all knew that, as it was made public today, that he had been battling cancer for the last 2 years, and his myriad of health problems that he has fight through. But let's also be real, 90 years old. What a beautiful life.
Yeah, absolutely.
The amount of life he lived in that time, and just 10 days shy of his 91st birthday, and we all would have been sharing memories once again in 10 days too. So to be there that day was, it still hurts. I mean, you could hear a pin drop, and when he turned around and saw everybody there waiting for him, and it put a smile on his face, and gave a big hug to Judy and to Robin, and man, it was hard. It was really hard.
Well, Dom, we hear a lot of times people throw around he was one of us, he was one of us. But the emotions that Christian Yelich showed after the loss last year showed, and all the comments from all the players, showed that Bob did have a connection with the guys on the field. He wasn't just up in the booth calling the games.
Bob, as it's been explained many times, Bob was a player that happened to be a broadcaster, not a broadcaster that was close with the players. There's a difference between the two in that played in the big leagues, won a World Series with the St. Louis Cardinals, bounced around, obviously one of the funniest men to ever live. But the fact is, he had a locker. He had a space in the clubhouse meant for him, like he was part of the team. Only thing that was missing was the sliding pants, right? I mean, he was a part of this team as much as anybody. And the celebrations every year, beer, Miller Lite flying everywhere, champagne flying everywhere. Every time they won the division, Uke's in the middle of it. And thank goodness they got to celebrate at home as much as they did, too, to have him there. And, to think that this past year when they clinched at home against the Phillies and, Pat Murphy had him around his arm. There's nobody that embodies the Milwaukee Brewers more than this man right here, Bob Uecker. The crowd goes nuts. He's soaked, and it sucks that that's the last one, but he was as much a part of this team as Yelich, as Ryan Braun, as Paul Molitor, as Robin Yount. The list goes on. He is Milwaukee Brewers forever.
And for you as a broadcaster, how much did you learn from him that was just through osmosis and just absorbing it versus how much did he ever have actual tangible advice for you?
Thinking about it today, it was never, the advice I asked or received from him was never like tactical advice, how to call a game. And that's kind of how his upbringing came. He just was trial by fire. His partners at the time literally walked out of the booth and, you get the fifth inning. And Bob, sitting in a booth by himself, had to figure out how to do a game for the first time. And that's how he learned. So maybe tactically, if you were a professor at Syracuse or whatever, you wouldn't admire the way that he called the game. But I did. What I absorbed from Uke is how to make other people feel. And the way that he always was able to put a smile on somebody's face. And the simple way to get a smile is to give a smile. And Uke was the king of that. Not just with his comedy and that sort of thing, but all of the outings and charity work that he did that wasn't publicized. And he wanted it that way because he wanted it to be genuine. And he would call folks with the same heart condition he had. He would call folks in the Wounded Warrior Project. He would call folks with ALS and these charities that are important to him, and felt that he could help people smile and get through whatever they were going through is how I'm going to remember Bob Uecker just as much as Bob Uecker, the legendary voice of the Brewers.
Don, before we let you go, We've heard this from a number of people. Who do you think is going to be the first of Uke's friends to put out the stories that are legendary once the mic was turned off?
Well, I tell you what, it's not going to be from me. The unspoken rule is there's a reason those weren't on the air, and you kind of had to be there for some of those, you know. And
there you go.
There are a handful of stories that have been shared out there. In fact, tonight I'm on at 8:00 tonight. Bob Costas will be my top of the hour guest there too, and Bob and
Very nice.
Bob are just tight as a feather. I mean, just it's going to be great. I've gotten to know Bob quite a bit the last couple of years, and it's going to be a really tough broadcast for both of us to get through, I imagine. But the cough button, and this was joked earlier today, Adam McCalvey told Kent Summerfield, longtime engineer of the Brewers, said, you need to send the cough button to Cooperstown. And I think he's 100% right. Send that cough button, the drop button, to Cooperstown. And that should live on forever.
That's hilarious. Dom, again, so sorry for your loss today as a personal friend of Bob's, and sorry for all the Brewers fans lost, but we appreciate you taking some time to jump on with us today. And we look forward to seeing the great opening day shoes again this year.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not my loss. This is not the Brewers. This is Milwaukee's loss, and this is a day that stings. But let's remember him as great as he was.
Absolutely. All right, 8 p.m. tonight.
8 p.m. tonight.
All right, great. Thanks so much for your time, Dom.
Thank y'all.
We'll be back with more after this.
Catch up on Wisconsin's midday news with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
It's not the extension of pumpkin spice season. No, it is not a maple cold foam cold brew with artichoke.
In the mornings, Greg will typically drink an iced coffee, a cold coffee. Gina does hot coffee, and then I do tea.
By listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast.
Darkness Retreat isn't for me. Ayahuasca's probably not for me.
Sponsored by Siding Unlimited. The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Whether you are a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit our great city of Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Hey, maybe you got friends coming in from out of town. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee with deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. You and your friends will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Here's the windup and the pitch to Molly. A swing and a base hit to right. 39 straight for Molitor on the first offering from Kenny Schramm.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan, and that was another wonderful call from Bob Uecker. You're going to be hearing those all day, so thanks to our team for getting those pulled out and put in for us to use.
Absolutely. And so our next guests, you've heard them before. You'll hear them every day on The Truth, our sister station, with their show Jammin' with Juice, Ben Jammin', Carrie Noni Juice here. Woo-hoo. And before we talk about your new big news, Carrie, you're an in-game host for the Brewers, right?
Yes, I am. I started in September. I got in there by the playoff time, and it was a great time. We won the playoff game on my birthday, might I add.
That's big news.
That was amazing. So, yeah, I did get to enjoy it for about a month before the season ended.
But you did not get to meet Uke before he died?
I did not. No, but his energy was felt throughout the entire stadium at all times, you know, and even seeing videos and pictures of him posted online, he was so lively. And I mentioned this to Benjamin when we did our show earlier today. It's like, man, he was just filled with so much energy. It sucks to see someone like that go, you know, even though they were of an older age. It's like, oh, well, he was 90. It's expected. But it's like he was so lively, so you don't expect it, you know. So rest in peace to Bob, and his impact will definitely live on like for a very long time.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right. Well, let's get to the reason you guys are here. So was it 8 months ago we had you on
Yes.
when the
8
show
months.
first started? So you
Yes.
have been doing a show on 107 The Truth, Jamming with Juice. It was 12 to 1. And now what's the big news?
You want to let them know, Co-Star?
Hey, each and every morning, you guys can tap into Jamming with Juice between 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for 2 full hours. All right, each and every day on 101.7 The Truth, you get myself, Benjamin, you get Carrie Noni Juice, and ultimately you get an energetic show filled with nothing but laughs and entertainment.
Yeah, so excited.
Wow.
Going to morning drive, baby.
And does it start on Monday?
Starts on Monday, MLK Day, Inauguration Day.
That is a good, there you go. It's a big day. It's a lot of stuff to talk about right off the bat. Do you already have the first show planned?
You know,
Kind of.
yeah, we'll leave it at that. We kind of got it put together. We know the gist of it. How
Well,
about
because
that?
we're going to be remote. So we're going to be doing our very first show celebrating MLK Day at Potawatomi. We're going to speak with some contest winners of the MLK contest, and they're going to do their speeches that they did.
What's the MLK contest?
It's like a thing they do every year where a bunch of kids submit.
Oh, it's the essays?
Yeah, the
Oh,
essays.
okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking to some of those kids, the winners, the 2 winners.
Right.
So that'll be fun being at Potter. We get some breakfast. Isn't that cool? On our first morning show, we're going to
Very
get some
cool.
breakfast.
I mean, and honestly, I feel honored to speak with the students anyway, just because, like, it's, as they always say, you know, the children are the future, right? And I remember just being one of those kids trying to figure out my way in life and never knew that one day I'd start a morning show on MLK Day. So, you know, looking back at it, I think I did pretty well for myself.
Oh, yeah.
This is pretty cool. You did do very well for yourself. 8 months. Now, here's the thing. People not in radio, a lot of people get up early for work, but when you guys had a pretty cush spot coming in at noon, working till 1.
Yes.
You didn't have to get up super early. Starting Monday, you got to be up at the crack of dawn and ready to go. Will the energy be able to stay as high as it is now early in the a.m.?
Yes. Yeah. And you know, anybody who knows me knows I'm somewhat of a spiritual guy. And if anybody knows anything about creativity, they say creativity in the universe is at its highest, like when you can pull from the pool of creativity in between the hours of 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. because everybody else is asleep. So I'll be getting up at 4 a.m. harnessing all the creative energy, all right, and bringing it to you guys at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
You're going to get up at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, every day.
Are you getting up at 4 a.m.?
Well, I usually get up at 4 a.m. now. I get up at 4:30
There
every
it
day
is.
with my boyfriend Corey. We go to the gym. So I'm in the gym between 5 and 5:30 every morning. Anyway.
Very impressive. I am
No wonder you guys are
my
so
kid
driven.
Gets me up.
Yeah, but now it's going to change my gym schedule. It's like, do I wake up earlier now at like 3:45 to go to the gym? Or do I just wait until after the show and just do it at, 9 or 9:30, 10?
I'm not gonna lie. I've been thinking about just bringing breakfast to the show in the morning. Like I might just bring eggs and bacon to
Here
the
we
show.
go. And then see,
get my
now you're going
syrup.
to eat on the show, and then it's going to be
Have
a
some
thing.
pancakes.
I'm going to say, hey, they don't want to listen to you eating on the show, Ben.
But that's how you get the sponsorships. That's how you get the George Webbs of the world, right?
Maybe.
Is that your go-to?
Or the
That's what you want is
Alka-Seltzer
George Webb?
commercial.
Oh, she gets George Webb, so I
I
eat
do
the
get
George
some George
Webb.
Webb. It's by my house.
All right. Well, if people have not listened to Jammin' with Juice before, what would you say your best pitch is to get people to tune in on their drive time, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays?
Give them that energy, Ben.
If y'all want to wake up each and every day motivated, inspired, and ready to conquer your day.
And
all right?
laugh.
And laugh, for real, because you're definitely going to laugh.
We're entertaining.
Tap into Gym with Juice between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. each and every day because that is what you're going to get. We will be the fuel for the rest of your day, if not the rest of your lifetime.
Yeah,
Rest of your
Well,
lifetime.
and I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, it is. So make sure you start jamming with Juice in the morning. Get your daily drop of juice. We are turning mornings into your favorite part of the day.
And make sure you wipe
Starts
that crust
Monday.
out your eyes.
All right. Congratulations, guys. Super
Thank
excited
you.
for
Congrats,
you.
guys.
Appreciate
Very
it.
nicely
Tap
done.
in, y'all. Wake up, tap in.
All right. We'll have more after this.
New Year's resolution, finally do something about that old garage door. Vince Vitrano for Lifetime Door Company. Time to give the biggest door to your home the look, style, and function it demands. Our holiday guests, first thing they say when they walk in, wow, that new garage door looks really nice. Lifetime also installed a new opener. So quiet, LED lights, camera equipped. You can even run it from an app on your phone. To help fit your budget, through January, tell them Vinny sent you. They'll knock 5% off the total purchase on all service and installation. Get started at lifetimedoor.net.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Perfect day on the ice, huh, Pat? Ice auger, fishing rod, portable generator, and that genius pizza oven. Pepperoni's ready.
For frozen lakes, toasty crusts, and everything in between, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Like $60 off a Milwaukee Drill Driver Combo Kit. And select Nutrichomps dog chews, buy one, get one half price. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Sick of being bullied by your bank with surprise fees, getting stuck on hold, and bankers who don't get you? Wintrust takes a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way and expecting different results, and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/no-bully. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here we go from the stretch. The pitch to Murray. A swing and a drive to center. Robin chasing. Long run. He's got it with a diving catch. And Nieves has made history here in Baltimore.
Bob Uecker there on one of his famous calls. This is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And we're coming up at the bottom of this hour. And when we come back, we're going to have an oldie, a name that you definitely know. Gene Miller's going to join us, which I'm really excited about. I got to spend time with Gene for the last couple months before he retired.
Yep.
We overlapped for a little bit, and I'm friends with his son, and so I'm really excited I'm looking forward to speaking to him when we come back after the news. But we put together, or Gene had put together, this obituary for Bob Uecker that we wanted to play for you.
Bob Uecker was Wisconsin's soundtrack of summer since 1971.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! It is gone!
Giving fans a bird's eye view of the game and Brewers milestones from his front row seat at the park.
He's done it. 3,000 for Robin. A swing and a base hit to right. 39 straight for Molitor.
Robert George Uecker was born in Milwaukee in 1934, a local kid who made it to the bigs with the hometown Braves before finding his legs as an actor and entertainer.
Would you welcome Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker.
Making some 100 Tonight Show appearances, starring in scads of spots for the hometown brew.
These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh? You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on.
Uecker made WrestleMania appearances, starred in his own TV series, one that ran 6 seasons.
Who are you? Belvedere. Lynn Belvedere.
Then there was the movie Major League.
On into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
And his turn as announcer, Harry Doyle.
Ball 4. Ball 8.
His real-life career in the booth began a year after the Brewers came to Milwaukee from Seattle, honing his signature call.
If somebody really hits a ball, some guy up there really juices one, you'll see the guys on the bench get up and get to the steps or wherever and look that way. And, I mean, every guy in the dugout is hollering, get up, get out of here, get out of here. You know, That's where it came from.
Euchre earning a place in the broadcasters' wing at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, awarded in 2003.
It's been a great run, but number one has always been baseball for me. No matter what else I ever did, baseball was the only way I wanted to go.
Gene Miller, WTMJ News.
Gene
That's a beautiful tribute.
It is a beautiful tribute. Gene's going to join us after the bottom of the hour news. But if you would like to, we've been collecting all of our Bob Euchre content, and we've collected it on WTMJ.com. If you text Bob, B-O-B, to the Citing Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620, we will send you that link. And also keep sending in your stories. I got this one from the 414. When I was on the fire department, I was a pilot on the fireboat Phoenix. On occasion, we would go to Barnacle Buds. Mr. Euchre had his boat moored there. He would come onto deck and say hi. I think what he was really doing was making sure we didn't hit his boat.
And then the 847 says, Ceylon Yuki cannot replace Dandy of a Day, a bit tardy on his swing. Usingers and other ad. So long, everybody.
So long. Yeah.
It is, a hard day.
It is a hard day. Even when Dom came in at the top of the hour, you could just feel it's an emotional day. So here, and I'm sure around Milwaukee. ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Defense Department in a farewell ceremony holding that for President Biden today. The president telling military members he was honored to lead them.
Last time as Commander-in-Chief, I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all the families. We owe you.
Outgoing Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin praising the president's leadership during times of turmoil overseas, from Russia's war in Ukraine to the conflict, he says, between Israel and Hamas.
He has just secured a ceasefire that will stop the fighting in Gaza, surge more humanitarian aid to suffering Palestinian civilians, and reunite the hostages with their families.
The ceasefire deal expected to go into effect Sunday. On Capitol Hill, Senate confirmation hearings continue. EPA nominee Lee Zeldin and Interior Secretary nominee Doug Burgum among those answering questions today. And the winds have eased in Southern California. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 2:31. I'm John Mercure. Bob Euchre's passed away, dying early this morning at his home at the age of 90. In a statement, the Brewers said in part, Euchre was the light of the Brewers, the soundtrack of our summers, the laughter in our hearts, and his passing is a profound loss. He was much more than a Milwaukee Brewers icon. He was a national treasure. His family confirms he was battling small cell lung cancer. Brewers broadcasters Bill Schroeder and Jeff Levering join us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News to reflect on Euchre's legacy. A child has died from the flu. The Department of Health Services confirms the first pediatric death in Wisconsin associated with influenza. DHS recommends everyone over the age of 6 months get vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 to avoid serious illness. And 5 people are safe this afternoon after a fire in Milwaukee's north side that's being investigated as arson. Officials say a man allegedly set the fire overnight at a home near 18th and Keefe. A suspect has been arrested. All escaped with no injuries. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed bag. The Dow is off 45. The NASDAQ is off 61. The S&P is up just about 1 point. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Checking out those roads. Not a lot to report. Let me refresh the times here. No major delays, no major slowdowns. The system looks good. The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 24 degrees. Tomorrow, breezy, mild, a high of 42. Saturday, we start the day at about 26, and the temps fall throughout, leading to Sunday, where the high is only 8 degrees. And on Monday, high of 5 degrees. Right now in Madison, it is cloudy and 36 degrees. In Green Bay, the same. Little peak of the sun and 36. In Milwaukee, it is cloudy and 36 degrees. I'm John Mercure, Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 2:33.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano. John Mercure here. Wait, does that car say Pella on the side? What's Gina Della doing here?
Sorry, I'm late. We're on the air in 3, 2...
Recognize my voice?
get used to it.
Talk all things windows, business, and being a boss in more ways than one with Gina Della Frapella's very own show right here on WTMJ. Starting February 1st, tune into What's the Difference every Saturday morning at 6:30 or stream anytime on WTMJ.com.
What a tease.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. Now is the time to start a meaningful career as a caregiver. Make a real difference in people's lives. WisCaregiver.com gives you 2 great options for free. Train for the in-demand caregiver workforce as a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or become a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. All training is free. Plus, you can earn a $500 bonus. Learn more. Visit WisCaregiver.com.
Transform your cabinet doors to present a beautiful, customized look for your kitchen. With the help of Less's Glass, the new look you want for your kitchen can be achieved, and for far less than if you completely replace your cabinet doors. With over 60 different glass styles to choose from displayed in cabinet doors in our showroom, you'll be able to visualize which style will look best in your home. And we do all the work. In most cases, even if you have all wood cabinets, you just bring in your cabinet doors, and we can mill out the wood inserts to accept the glass and replace them with your new glass inserts. Think about it. Your new glass inserts along with some new hardware, and you have a great new look for your cabinets for less. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob.
Swing and a drive, right center and deep. Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Fielder! He just hit a walk-off, and this one is over.
Cecil Fielder hitting a whopper. Bob Uecker on the call. It is getting harder and harder as the show goes on to hear the big voice guys rejoins and hear all these things and realize that last season was the last time we're going to hear that voice of Bob Uecker on the call. This is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I'm Kristen Bry. And joining us now from Florida is the one, the only, Gene Miller. Thanks for joining us, Gene.
It was a happier reason, a happier occasion, but it's great to share some memories about Mr. Baseball.
Absolutely. And so I guess what was your first reaction this morning when you got the news?
Honestly, it was just, damn it, really? I didn't want to believe it. It's going to be, the reality is going to sink in next summer, far away as that may seem right now, when it's as cold as it is. But it's going to be a summer about the soundtrack of baseball, the soundtrack of Bob Uecker, the soundtrack of our existence as fans. That's who he was. That's what he meant to us. But as the minutes and hours pass, and you get some time to look back on his life and his times and his accomplishments, you can't help but to smile, if not downright gut laugh, and remember all that he did to make us smile, to make us cheer, to make us get out of our seats, and to appreciate the sport that is Brewers baseball. And the fact that he always came home to Milwaukee, no matter what beckoned out there, be it New York, L.A., Belvedere, Major League, you name it, he could do it all. Carson, Miller Lite commercials. He always came back to Milwaukee. What a compliment.
Yeah.
It is a huge compliment. And Gene, you were on the air in Milwaukee for over 40 years. Ueck had been 50 years on the booth. I know you guys interacted here and there, as you would, being two broadcasters. Do you have any memorable stories on an occasion with Bob?
I had a couple of interview opportunities with him. I had one opportunity in spring training just to sit in the booth with him for a while. One of the bosses, I was down there for spring training, just hanging out. He said, "Hey, you want to go out and say hi to Uecker?" I said, "What am I going to say to Bob Uecker?" And we just shot the breeze for about 10 minutes in between pitches. It was just surreal. And then we did do a TV spot for the radio station. I don't know how many years ago, but it was fairly recent. And I had to talk in front of a green screen while a bunch of images played out behind me, and I'm selling the virtues of WTMJ, weather, news, all this kind of stuff. And then at one point, I'm given a baseball, and I have to throw the baseball and talk about, covering all our teams. And behind me in the studio, in front of the green screen, Bob Uecker's supposed to walk by and drop a line on me, and then I lock the commercial out with the call letters and all that. Okay, so every time Uecker walks by, he didn't have a script. The rest of us all did, or I did. Uecker would come up with a line on his own, and one was funnier than the next. It was all, about how crappy I threw the baseball. I think the one line that made it was, "Oh, you must pitch for a retirement home." That was one that we could actually put on the air. Oh, you should have heard the ones that didn't make it on the air. And he'd just bust us all up, and we'd have to, get ourselves back together and redo the whole spot all over again. It was just great. And then there were a couple of down moments where, they had to reset the lighting and stuff. And there I was with Bob Uecker in the studio. He's like, "Well, what do I do? What do I say to Bob Uecker? My God, he's Bob Uecker. I want to talk about baseball." Everybody asks him about baseball or Miller Lite commercials. So I just asked him about fishing and how that was going. And he just talked to me like I was the biggest expert on Lake Michigan sport fishing that you could ever imagine. And I wouldn't know a reel from a hook from a worm. I know nothing about fishing. But he just held court and talked, and I just nodded my head and listened. And it was just, again, one of those surreal moments, because here's this guy I grew up listening to right there, interacting, just being a regular, authentic guy, a genuine, authentic Milwaukee guy.
Well, and he was so true and true Milwaukee, but he was popular nationwide. And so what do you think it was about his character, his delivery? Like, what was it about him that was such a larger than life character that lived well beyond the boundaries of Milwaukee and Wisconsin?
Well, back before the term platforms was used to describe various aspects of media and communication, Bob Uecker conquered so many different platforms. As a comedian, sitting down with Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show, as an actor in Major League, as a play-by-play man on radio, as a play-by-play guy on TV, the pitch man that he was, being a baseball player and being able to relate that to fans who had never touched a baseball or a bat. He did it all, and he did it with that self-effacing sense of humor, never took himself too seriously. But, everybody got to sample Bob, I think, on a different level. We got to sample him on all levels because he was ours. We got to see him in the flesh and hear him every night on the radio. But to the rest of the country, he was that funny guy on The Tonight Show. He was that guy that did ABC Monday Night Baseball with Howard Cosell. And, that's top-of-the-line stuff. And always did it as Bob Uecker, and that's who he was. He couldn't be anybody else. So he could be insightful. He could be funny. He could go toe-to-toe with somebody like a Howard Cosell and actually put Howard Cosell in his place, but do it funny. And, there are a few people who could communicate like that and do it consistently and do it so well, and Bob Uecker did.
There's obviously the tremendous loss here for Brewers fans in Milwaukee and baseball in general. When we were talking to you about coming on today, Gene, you mentioned that you think Bob Uecker's death marked the end of a certain type of legendary radio announcer. What do you mean by that?
Well, Uecker, Vin Scully, Ernie Harwell, Harry Carey, all those guys that folks like me of my age and my era remember. Mm-hmm. Those are the voices that are starting to go away. And now, Bob, we add, sadly, to that list of those great announcers and voices, those eyes and ears that brought the game into our living rooms and our backyards that aren't with us anymore. In that whole era, because there was a time when TV baseball wasn't a birthright. Every game wasn't on the tube.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Bob Uecker and early on Tom Collins and Merle Harmon, when the Brewers first came to Milwaukee from Seattle, those three guys brought this team to life for us. And it was a bad baseball team. I mean, they just weren't good. They stayed bad for a while till the late 70s. But they sold that team to a reluctant city that was angry about the Braves leaving. There was still that that anxiety and that anger about, we got jilted by Major League Baseball. The hell with it. I'm a Packers fan. Baseball, I don't need it. And they had to resell an entire community, an entire state on the sport itself with a very bad product. And that's how Uecker cut his teeth, was with those two professionals at the very beginning, and then got a voice of his own. And, the beauty of Bob Uecker was that he could call. He had so many great calls and so many great moments. And, that's how we will always remember our Milwaukee Brewers, through Bob Uecker's voice and his call in the moment, 3,000 for Robin and all that stuff. Get up, get out of here, gone. But I'm going to always remember those nights in 1975 when Bobby Coluccio was striking out with the bases loaded. But Bob Uecker would make that entertaining because he didn't dwell on the fact that when Coluccio struck out and they were losing, by 14 runs, he would be telling you stories about his career and his life in baseball that just had you rolling in the aisles, and you forgot how much your team sucked, and you just wanted to hear more Bob Uecker, and you wanted to come back the next night.
100%. Well, Gene, we appreciate you taking time today. I know it's a big deal. Everybody misses you. We still hear your voices on some commercials, so you're never long from our memories, Gene.
Well, likewise. I miss you guys back. Stay warm, everybody.
Thanks, Gene.
Take care. That's Gene Miller. You remember Gene, longtime morning host here on WTMJ. Let's do this. Then we'll hear from another teammate with some more Bob Uecker memories. It's spanning the state.
I know, January's here. WTMJ's John Burke here. If you have the January blues, start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. Enjoy any steak, the seafood, the pan-fried walleye, a fresh salad, steak and lobster, the ribs, the pasta, any dinner on the menu. Your second dinner is free. Desserts and those huge ice cream drinks. Also, buy one, get one free. Sip on an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. Check out the bourbon. 100 wines on the new wine list. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest is a one-of-a-kind gem. The holiday decorations are still up with thousands of lights. The Christmas characters. It's a must-see, and those 7 wood-burning fireplaces will keep you warm on a cold January night. Weekends might be too busy for some, so enjoy a quiet, romantic dinner tonight at the Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time AccuNet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life, but I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run and run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Adames aboard at first. This one in the air. Left and deep. Get up. Get out of here. Gone. Rhys Hoskins has just hit one with the bases loaded.
That was Bob Uecker just this last year with Rhys Hoskins' Grand Slam in 2024. This is Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan, and man, the energy was still there. Just real quick, want to thank everybody who's sending in all these great memories on the texts. They're choking me up. We are reading them. They'll be reading them throughout the day. So thank you very much for all of those. Let's go out to AmFam Field. That's where Adam Roberts is. And it sounds as if a lot of people are coming out there just to pay tribute to Bob Uecker. Adam, what's the deal at AmFam? All right, we're still getting Adam.
Oh, I guess he just dropped. So as we're getting Adam back, because he is out there right now, I know someone from the 414 just texted in saying, my 25-year-old son is so broken up about Mr. Baseball that he and some buddies are going down to the statue after work tonight to pay homage to him.
That's probably good.
So,
and this one,
what this kind of reminds me of is what I was living in LA when Kobe died.
Okay.
And there's the immediate reaction of people in LA to flock to the Staples Center, right? And
because you don't know what else to do. You don't know. It isn't a family member, but it's someone who's been in your life for so many years, and you want to do something. So getting communal gatherings and trying to process that is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, and in those moments where you don't really know what else to do except you want to be with other people and other people who care about it. And I feel like that's even in the experience of hearing from Gene to Dom to people's reaction to this and their stories that immediately start to come out and how powerful that is just through the storytelling.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, everybody's talked about how funny Bob Uecker is. He was never more funny than when he got inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Adam's having some technical issues.
I think, do we have Adam? We got Adam.
All right.
Adam, are you there?
Adam.
Yep, I am here, and thanks to the help of some Brewers fans, too. My phone died right as I was about to go on with you guys from the memorial, but I have borrowed a phone from a couple of Brewers faithful guys. What are your names?
Calvin. My name's Sam.
So, guys, we're here at the memorial. A lot of stuff, Kristen and Brian, already has been laid out at the statue right in front of American Family Field, just to the right of home plate if you're looking towards the lake. We got flowers, hats, letters have been left. I talked with a fan who was here with 3 generations of Brewers fans leaving stuff at the feet of the statue. Guys, how long have you been Brewers fans?
I've been a Brewers fan as long as I can remember. I was born and raised here in Milwaukee, and I've been watching them since I was a kid. So, yeah, same as him, what he said.
So you guys are younger people. We've had people, Kristen and Brian, of all ages coming out to the statue. I know it's still raw, but if you can share with me instant reaction to this, what did Bob mean to a young generation of fans?
Bob, specifically for me, he meant a lot to me. I'm currently a sports media student at Hofstra University in New York, so Bob's one of my inspirations personally. He definitely helped play a part in getting me into the industry. Hopefully I can join him at that level one day, but as for now, just appreciating what he did for the city and for Brewers fans alike. He just provided us with so many memories, calling the biggest moments in Brewers history, and he's been there for all of it, 54 years of amazing history, and we'll never forget Bob Uecker.
I would say my greatest memories with Bob would be just how much love he gave to the game. I remember back in elementary school, I got pulled out of school back in 2011.
Oh boy!
And that's really where I fell in love with baseball. Just to go see those playoff games. And I knew Bob was there. And, it really doesn't hit hard until, right now. But I think everyone in Milwaukee's just feeling a bit down today.
So more, obviously, Kristen and Brian, things are being left. I noticed one of the things that stands out to me, all of the Miller Lite cans that have been left at the statue, some with special personalized signatures and memories written onto the sides. And I know that this will be continuing throughout the afternoon and evening.
Yes.
Obviously, still people getting out of work, so the flow has been steady here at the statue, and I expect that to continue for the rest of the day.
Well, I can't wait to see the pictures that you get there, Adam.
Yeah. A very fitting
I've captured
tribute.
a few of them. There are a few where people are just standing. I saw a man just kind of taking everything in and then heaving a sigh and walking away. There's a lot of people here, but there's not a lot being actually said. I think everyone at the statue is still kind of soaking everything in at this point.
Well, it sounds as beautiful as it could be on such a tragic day, that the fans are coming out. People, at least they have a touchstone to give their own little tribute to Bob Uecker, no matter what's going on over there. And the thing with the Miller High Life cans is great because when that launched and he was the face of Miller Lite, it was huge.
Thanks so much, Adam. I know Wisconsin's Afternoon News will probably continue to check in with you as you are at American Family Field, but thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Adam.
You bet, guys. Not a problem.
All right, we'll do this and then come back and finish up the show.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I remember I never spoke in front of a podium until the NFC Championship game.
See the world from his perspective.
With all due respect, why were you asked to go to the podium?
To be podium guy.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
What do you mean with all due respect?
I didn't want it to come off like I was being rude. I'm just curious.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It comes off incredibly rude. Hey, Tausch, you suck. What are you doing up at the podium? Well, thanks, Bill.
Presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. And they're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
All right, that is it for us
That
on
is it
Spanning
for
the
us.
State.
But,
tributes to Bob Uecker will continue throughout the day here on WTMJ.
Absolutely. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ.